Hello everyone, and welcome back to Fire Emblem Three Houses.
A non-gacha game.
Non-gacha game, yes. This game was donated by Card, my good friend Card, and when people donate a game, I do try to follow through with their requests to the best of my ability. That is one of the reasons Mist is here along with us.
Hi everyone. My opening line is because of a conversation Em and I were having before we started recording.
Oh, yes. So, Mist is big into a lot of gacha games like FGO and Arknights. And I was telling her, don't start playing Mabinogi right now, because they currently have a free gacha event going on.
And I made the comment along the lines of, what insanity possessed me to think it was a good idea to have an FGO JP account? Gacha is hell. Gacha is life.
Gacha is hell, gacha is life. Yeah, it really is. I think we have all been through that difficulty, if you will.
At least I can proudly say that I am not in debt to gacha games.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I'm very careful to not go into debt because of them.
Right. And I mean, I can definitely say that I've known some people, so...
I will admit to wailing on it a couple times, but I make sure to not spend more money than I have.
Right. That's the important thing. It really is. Making sure that what you are doing is what you have, so... And not going beyond. Motivation increased. Like, all of my regular characters are basically good at this point. So it's like, here I am leveling DLC characters, not because I want to, but because everybody else is leveled and good.
I mean, you could probably work on Balthus's budding talent and reason there.
Yeah, I probably could. I'm still working on them here because they do still need more themselves.
Constance, why do you want to punch people in the face?
Yeah, we commented on that when we first started this. It was like, it's like Happy has axes for some reason. Like, I don't understand some of these. So, but yeah, there's some very strange ones. I assume there's some idea, like, that they have some kind of set path that they expect you to take. That's like what they're kind of conditioned to be like the best at. And as we have seen, the DLC classes are not their best classes. It was just what the game used to introduce us to those classes. So like here Constance is really good at Brawl for whatever reason, I guess, because why not? And it was Reason and Flying initially because of her Dark Valkyrie, but that was just her in that particular timeline, So, it's kind of that, like, it seems like all of the Cindered Shadows stuff is sort of an alternate timeline. And I mean, I guess you could technically say that about any of this. Like, each version, it has sort of the Pokemon complex, where each individual game is like their own separate timeline, but they do all exist all at the same time because it's like a multiverse, So, it's actually been confirmed for, oh wait, before I do that. That's straight out of, I don't know which Game Freak worker, but one of the people at Game Freak, like straight up confirmed that that's how they like create the Pokemon games. So, clearing rubble instead of gardening. Interesting.
I mean, yeah, that's what it's been ever since the time skip.
It's the first time I've noticed.
Professor?
So,
I mean, it makes more sense.
in face. What, surprised? Hey, maybe rough around the edges. Doesn't mean I can't appreciate a little magic.
I mean, he might as well. He gets a heal spell.
True. It wouldn't hurt, I suppose. He is already doing reason, so I don't see any reason not to let him take a step further than that. Shamir's birthday!
Thank you.
I'll just give her flowers. I'm not too concerned about that. If I was going to build relationship with Shamir and Catherine and them, I'd have done it by now. So, no offense to them. I'm sure they're great characters with great stories, but like there's already so much with all these characters that I'm starting to get lost on whose supports are whose. So it's like, yes, just what I need, more story.
I still greatly wish I could play the game myself.
Yeah, I'm sure you will be able to one day. So, I mean, it's just like I really, really, really want to do freaking Doom Eternal and stuff like that, but it's not going to happen anytime soon, so. But, I mean, maybe with this virus and everything and everybody being basically out of work, I guess the government's trying to create a way to help with that. And maybe that will come into play and maybe I'll get some help too. That would be great, but I only have heard rumors, so I don't want to say anything and spread false information, you know? I've only just heard rumors of what our current president is doing. So.
I mean, I know one thing that's a fact is we're effectively under wartime law, but with manufacturing.
Yeah.
So it's like, we've declared war on the coronavirus.
That basically is what it is at the moment, yeah. It's one of the few times in history, I think, that we've gone quite this far into like our current. Like I think this is one of the first few times that we've ever been this, like...
Okay, I know this is very nitpicky, but Marianne's dress. Marianne's just when you can see it there on the battlefield. Notice something?
It's like glitching in and out of itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's only so much you can do, unfortunately.
I think it's because she's in the trickster class, and you've got her in her monastery attire. Her monastery attire is probably not modeled for that.
Probably not. No. I don't think it's meant to be used in that regard. So.
Especially since it's like.
God, I don't even
Suppose for it has her legs spread, and yeah, her dress is clearly not meant to be like that.
Right.
Oh well.
Yeah. It is what it is. Sorry, this is the part that I hate, is trying to figure out who I can, like, add for supports and things, just because it's like, this is the units I want, but then I have adjuncts, and they're really only good for just adding supports and things, and so it's like, who do I want supports with? It's like I had that. Like I wish that I could just see supports from this menu to make it easier, but now I have to go out. So I have to look at the units I have, try to remember all 10 of these people, then go out into the supports menu, and then it's like, oh, now I've forgotten already who I have freaking in my unit. You know? I mean, it's a minor nitpick, but it is kind of a it is kind of an annoyance to me. So it is a minor thing, yes, but it is still kind of an annoyance. Something that I definitely wish there was some way around. So, but just about every game that I know has some kind of thing that's always like, well, this is nitpicky, but it's what I freaking am having an issue with. You know? And there's being nitpicky, and then there's like, I have to do this like every time I play, and so that should be designed in a more what's the term for it? Streamlined method. Like there should be a more streamlined, system for this, because you do it all the time, every time. And so it just kind of becomes kind of a drag at some, eventually at points.
Yeah.
So it really is that, like, this wouldn't be a problem if it wasn't something that I do literally every single time I boot up the game, or I do a mission, or, really that... God, these guys just have insane movement. They really do. Jeez. Alright. I'm in. I'm sure Yuri can handle something. I don't need to silence anybody. I don't even know that there's any mages to silence. Well, there's this guy. But I won't need to silence him this round. And then, like, okay, I'm far enough... I'm in a position where all of my units are too far to attack. But then if I move up, then I get attacked by, like, everything on the freaking battlefield. So, it's like, I can't move these people because every time I move them, they're in freaking aggro because I can't get far enough, but they can. Like, I could just wait my whole turn, and they would be able to reach me on their turn. But I can't get to them. And like this, there's this, and it's like, I'm getting hit by like 5 guys here. I'm just gonna leave these people where they're at. I'll move them closer like this.
Let's make this quick.
And apparently I've moved Happy into aggro range from somebody. Because of course I have.
Thanks.
Now whatever. Just do that. You can fly. Whatever. Ow. I also know that, I picked a level 36 encounter, so these guys are going to be stronger and faster and stuff. It's just... So... It would just be nice if I could... It feels like there's a little bit of balance struggle. And I mean, that's true with just about any RPG. Balancing is very difficult. I know this. I have, done that myself. I've worked on, an RPG myself, so I know that it's can be very difficult to balance your like encounters, especially in something like this where you don't have a guaranteed set party or anything, you know? So
Yeah.
I'm not like really complaining that like, oh, this game is unbalanced. It's more just like there's just times where, you know, my choice of group or whatever sometimes feels a little difficult to handle fully.
It's done.
It's like you would think that, you know, I've got a group of like ranged people and I should be able to thus handle this not too much of an issue with a lot of range, and then like they can all like their melee can just immediately come up to me. And it's like, well, this is what I get for picking nothing but ranged. You know? Dead. 102 damage crit. You can attack from there? Oh, yeah, right, because you can just move around. Duh. I understand. I can't... Oh, I didn't realize that I was moving into that spot. Got it. I was like, why can't I attack this guy when I'm on the corner? Because I'm not on the corner. That's why I couldn't attack him on the corner, because I wasn't on the corner. No, I really don't want to use death on this guy just for that. Just get rid of this guy, please. Thank you.
Goddess, forgive me.
That's not happening. Happy move up here. Yuri heal Happy. Oh sure, she's right on the edge of where freaking that is. Alright, whatever. Annie, go this way, I guess. Because Felix is probably going to need some kind of help. Which is really not something I thought of beforehand. That I was moving everybody away from Felix. There we go. That helps. You can die. Ow.
I fight for justice's name.
And my battalion withdrew, which is fine. I wasn't using her battalion anyway.
Thank you.
But you should be able to handle that. Ba-dum. It's just these battles where I feel like I'm not moving. Feels like I'm struggling despite how high level I am. But at the same time, it makes sense that I should be struggling because these are higher level encounters. And it is getting further in the game, you know. I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say without it kind of sounding like I'm being negative, because I'm not trying to be. It's more just like, I don't know. I really don't know. I know what I'm thinking and how it like makes me feel, but I've never been good at iterating feelings into words. One of the biggest issues I have with writing is like, oh, I want to write these personal stories about characters. How do I do that? I don't know. Because I've got to figure out how the characters, like how to describe the way the character feels. And people aren't happy if you just say like, oh, they're happy, or oh, they're not happy. It's like, don't tell us that they're happy or sad or anything. Like, make us feel what they are feeling. It's like, I don't know how to do that because I don't know the words to describe how they feel. You know?
Yeah.
One thing a lot of people have told me is show, don't tell. Or, yeah, show, don't tell, or whatever. It's like, I don't know how to show you that, like, they're depressed. There's feelings that you go through with some emotions that just, I feel like they just don't have words to, like, really describe. Maybe there are and I just don't know them, but, like, I just feel like there's just some times where there's just no way to describe, you know, how a person feels or how a person looks and stuff like that because of what they're going through.
I will not die yet.
I really, really, really needed to have more close range fighters in this fight. So why am I using wind all the time? Oh, right, because that's her basic. I thought I was using cutting gale,
Can't afford to lose.
so I was confused. It wasn't until after I looked at it and realized the wind is just her basic, and that's, yes, that is what she should be using, that I realized I'm not using cutting gale. I was just looking at the animation and thinking cutting gale, and so then I see wind. Oh, frick. Sword broke. That's not going to be good for him in a minute. You can't attack from this far away. Of course not. Well, fudge. I love that she has the advantage with the iron bow and it deals like 10 damage. But I can just not have the advantage and deal that much more damage. Like, I get it, it's because of her skill. I just think that's funny to look at, you know?
Appreciate it.
It's like, this should be super effective, but it actually deals less damage than the not very effective move.
Each battle a victory.
Before I understood the whole, like, super effective, not very effective thing in Pokemon, I had, like, several Pokemon that I was using that, like, did massive damage with their, like, not very effectives or, like, standard damage. I'm just like, why doesn't that say it's super effective? Because that was so much damage. You know, I didn't understand the idea that, you know, the whole super effective thing was because of, you know, damage types and stuff. I was also, what, 9? So, I mean, what can you do? God, how old was I when Pokemon came out?
Thank you.
1998, so I would have been 10. I would have been 10.
I was
Maybe
not
11.
even born yet.
Maybe 11 at the most.
I wasn't even born yet.
Oh, yeah. It's like, that's the kind
Yet
of
I'm
thing,
sitting
though.
I'm sitting here right now playing a Pokemon game.
Right. Oh, yeah. No,
By the way, do you want any Eevees?
I have a good many Eevees, actually.
I have an entire box full in Pokemon Fly.
Wow.
Just an entire box. Just Eevees.
I mean, I'll admit I don't have that many Eevees. I do have a lot of Eevees, but definitely not that many. Yeah, let's put her in the... I keep forgetting about the whole, like, forest gives you more evasion and stuff thing. Something I need
The curse of shiny hunting.
to... One thing
So-
I could never get into. Nope.
I just want a single shiny Eevee.
I mean, I've only done shiny hunting once in my life, and I don't think you can technically call what I did shiny hunting. Because I turned on a Game Shark cheat code that made all Pokemon shiny. Or I should say all wild encounters shiny. So, I don't think you can call that, shiny hunting. Well, that worked out pretty well. Let's let some of these guys get some hits in. Mosfato. Good job. Win!
It had to be done.
Had to be done. But yeah, no, I've just never been able to get into like shiny hunting. I understand like the idea behind it and the desire to have shiny Pokemon. So it's not that I don't understand that. Yeah, I do completely understand that. Because yeah, shiny Pokemon can look cooler and bragging rights and yada yada,
No matter
So it's nice to have shiny Pokemon, but like I've just never gotten into the whole shiny hunting thing myself. Alright. Let's do this one next. Unfortunately, we're doing 3 battles now every time, and so like there's gonna be even more battles. And I feel kind of bad because like, okay, there's 3 battles, but they only give you like 1 paralog like a month, and maybe 1 like story quest. So it's like, here I am like I look at Nico's videos, and yes, I know we reference Nico a lot, but that's because we both like him. He's doing the same series as we are. It makes sense. Like I look at Nico's videos, and like he just edits all of the battles, so that it's just like you only have to sit through like that last battle was almost half an hour long, and his video it's like literally maybe 2 minutes, And it's like, to that, like, I can appreciate that, the idea of editing and things like that to do that, but I just don't have the ability to sit down and, like, that's just not fun or interesting to me, is doing all that. It takes way too much work for what I feel like is way too little, like it, like I don't record YouTube videos to get paid. We don't make any money, neither Miss nor I make any money off of any of this at all. We'd like to, but we don't. And so we don't do it because, hey, money and such. We just do it because, I do it because I enjoy, recording these videos. I assume Mist is similar in that, she enjoys being here and stuff like that. And so we do it because we enjoy it, and it's like, maybe if I was getting paid to do this, I could make the time to sit down and do all that kind of work, but it's too much work for like basically no reward, I'm not saying that everything has to be rewarding, but it just certainly feels better when you have some kind of reward or something for whatever you're doing.
Indeed.
Like I said, I just make these videos for the fun of it and things like that. That's why it's like, oh, there was like a 3-day break in videos. Why was that? It's like, it's not because I felt like I needed to upload anything. You know, I'm not getting paid, so I don't feel like I have to... Leonie, that's who it was. I don't feel like I have to get a video out every day. But it feels nice to get a video out, especially now that I've gotten enough viewers that I'm seeing comments. Now, I say that I'm seeing comments, but they're literally comments of, hey, good video, and so it's just like, almost the same as not having a comment. Annie. Can Annie build with anybody that I don't currently have? Just Gilbert, I guess. It would be good to finish her storyline. There. Get her father in there. I'm not putting her father in the battle, but I'll freaking put her I'll adjunct him. Because they would not stand a chance. He would not stand a chance in here. He's too low level for this fight. Also, I hope I can repair the Sword of Zoltan. I think the last time I went to repair it, it needed like Agarthium or something like that. So I literally couldn't even repair the thing.
Why not?
I think that's why it was broken. So... guess we'll have to see what happens. Can I do any more damage to this guy? Nah. That's unfortunate.
I'm your girl.
I should be able to get him with Annie, though. I still think every unit should be able to move after their attack, though. As long as they have further movement. You know, if they don't have any more move, then yeah, it makes perfect sense. But I feel like every unit should be able to finish their move if they didn't spend all of it. Not just the freaking horses and flyers, but that's just my opinion. It was really only a major complaint during the Cindered Shadows DLC. So, which I am actually a little surprised that Nico hasn't done a video on, but he hasn't yet, so he's probably waiting till he finishes the main story, just in case of spoilers for like the main story,
Do my best.
which is understandable. I myself debated, especially when it came up as like, there may be spoilers. I'm like, should I hold off? But having played through it, I mean, I don't know what's coming, but I don't feel like I was spoiled too much for anything. Okay, goodbye, Annie. So much for that. I mean, again, it could just be the fact that I don't know what's coming, and so therefore I don't know what has been spoiled. But at the same time, I feel like because I don't know what has been spoiled, if anything, that basically means it hasn't been spoiled, you know? It's like at some point I'll get to a point where I'm sure the Cindered Shadows DLC is going to be like, oh, this spoiled this, you know. You're like, oh yeah, I know that from the Cindered Shadows DLC, and they'll be like, yeah, you shouldn't have known that until this point, but like, I'm still gonna reach that point where it's like, oh, see, I didn't know that, you know? I don't know if I actually made sense out of what I just said, because I'm sitting here feeling a little confused about what I just said.
Same old, same old.
So, hopefully it made sense. I tend to have I think it's an autistic thing, being autistic myself and everything, but like, I just have this tendency to not know, like, how to say things. And I, like, try to say something, and I just repeat myself, like, 4 times, saying the same thing. But in my head, I've said 4 different things. So, I have been told that's, like, an autistic thing, though. Autistic people do that, so... Bam! 12 damage. Go ahead and step up here to block. Step up. No. Don't do that. I don't think you can handle all of them. Up here. No, we can start moving these guys up this way. A lot of heavy armors.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, well, good thing we have a lot of mages in our group. So, I was having this problem, though, in Black Eagles. I think I mentioned it, but it was like... There was like 4 or 5 of the auxiliary battles that were just nothing but heavy armors. I'm like trying to level like my swords and axes and stuff, and it's just like... Yeah, I can't do any of that because it's all freaking just heavy armor. Everything. So I'm having to like use all my mages and things, and it's like Black Eagles run. All my mages are level 15. Everybody that I was trying to level is freaking level 7. It's like, thanks, game. Random freaking... I mean, I get it. They're random battles, you know. Nobody programmed that battle to be that way. It's just that's what the game gave me on that particular version. So it's not like I'm... Yeah, again, it's... I feel like I'm complaining, but I'm not trying to. You know? It's just like... I'm not trying to complain and say that was bad. Because it was just annoying for that one run, and I understand that that was... Just because of the way the game is, that was a random roll of the dice on that kind of thing, you know? There was no game developer that went, let's put this in as all heavy armors. Because and I know that for a fact, because I did that encounter before on Blue Lions, and it wasn't all heavy armors. So... I get that it pulls from just a random, like, pool of enemies and such, you know? Who hasn't... Why are you way the heck down there, Happy? I also hope that the Sword of Meralta is easy to repair, because if not... I'm just gonna have to give him, like, a freaking steel sword or something, because as great as these weapons are, like... I can't repair these things. They're basically heroes' relics, in my opinion. They're glass freaking weapons, so there's no point in me using them. Yay! Mithril! Ooh, neat. Renown increase. Neat. Alright. You know what? I'm just going to do this one real fast before we end this episode, because then we can just get it out of the way. And the next episode, we can just jump right into the freaking end of chapter mission, because I don't want to like end the episode, and then this is only like a 10-minute battle, you know?
Yep.
Welcome! Repair. Can I repair? Sword of Zoltan. Wood steel. What about this? Mithril. Actually, I'm getting a decent amount of mithril. The wood steel I'm getting nothing of. It only seems to come from monsters.
I think I think you might be able to get it from feeding the cats and dogs around around the monastery, but you know.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Is that the thanks?
I get that I can do that, but it's sort of this like, it's sort of this mentality of like, without the DLC, this is how I would, like, the position I would be in, I guess. So part of me thinks about that. Like, I don't think about all the, like, extra stuff that the DLC added sometimes. So
Thanks a bunch.
it's just like, oh yeah, this is what the game has. And I really do. Like, I forget that there is stuff from the DLC sometimes that I could be doing and using. So,
Come back soon.
I'm back soon. Okay, well, anyway, the important thing is that we got those repaired. So, let's try this again. Gilbert, Nanny. And what was it? Lysithia and Hahnemann, and then Felix and Leonie? Is that who I had last time? No. Yes, it was. Surprisingly, they barely got any freaking support with each other, though, but whatever. I don't think I used Felix almost at all in that last battle, though. Aside from a couple, like, 2 enemies, I think everybody else handled the rest of them, so... I really don't think I used him much, which is probably why. I mean, I guess this is a pretty decent lineup. I never know where to put my units. I usually just go with the default half the time because I'm like, I don't know. I just don't know where is actually a good spot to position people. Because normally I would think, like, put the people with, like, the best defense and the melee weapons in the front, you know. But then it's like I'm trying to level characters, so they're the ones that need to be in the front. But then
It really does vary map to map and unit to unit.
yeah, it really does. And adapting is not something I am the best at. I will be 100% honest about. Oh my god. Again with this freaking, like, everybody can reach my freaking units here.
And I'm just here playing Pokemon Y, doing circles in the last area of Victory Road with my Lucario blasting off Aura Spheres and Dragon Pulses as I try to level up Pokemon to evolve them to complete the Pokedex.
Make this quick.
Right.
I'll do my
I understand. That I understand.
I've put a pause to my shiny hunt for now. I grew tired of cycling circles in Lumiose City.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, when you said you were going around in circles in Victory Road, I'm like, you're, like, catching eggs, but you're not just going in Lumiose City? Ah, you're training. So that makes, perfect sense in that case. But,
Yep.
yeah, no, I completely understand that. I am the kid that had a level 100 Mewtwo because I used Mewtwo to level everybody else in my party after I beat the Elite Four the first time because I was trying to collect all the Pokemon. And so I would put out whatever Pokemon I needed to level/evolve and then immediately swap out for Mewtwo, and Mewtwo would just sit there and trounce the rest of the army. Or the rest of the Elite Four. And I would just do that every single round. So yeah, no, I understand, using just the one character to...
The reason why I'm not doing the Elite Four training method right now It's because my Lucario is only level 76.
Right.
As good of a boy Mega Lucario is, yeah, I don't think he's quite the best one at his current level to try to carry 5 other Pokemon through.
Right.
At the very least, I'd need to bring. I'd only be able to really bring in 3 Pokemon to train up.
Right. And don't the Elite Four, like, get stronger?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rematches. For the rematches. That's what I thought. I think
Of course,
all the new games do that.
It means that my Lucario would get stronger as well.
Right. But, I mean, this was back in the day where level 50 was the max freaking level of the ultimate trainer, basically. Although, actually, I think Gary had a level 60. I think it was level 60. Because Gary's starter, I think, was level 60. So, but yeah. Back in the day when, level 60 was the max level of your opponents, and they didn't get any stronger ever. Nowadays, that's just not the case, though. Oh boy, I hope Felix can handle all that.
If I really want to do super effective get through,
I also was the kid that had Pokemon Yellow because they loved Pikachu just so much. Which I say because it's really funny that I say that now, considering that I don't. It's not that I don't like Pikachu. I do like Pikachu. I just am not anywhere near as big of a fan of him as I used to be, It's like, oh, it's Pikachu. If I can get him in my party, sure, but I'm not going to go out of my way to, fight to find one. Meanwhile, as a kid, I was the kid that was running around Viridian City for that 2% chance to catch Pikachu, and then when Pikachu does finally show up, accidentally KOs it because my Pokemon are too strong, and I have to do it all over again. 5 times. Totally not speaking from experience. And then I just got Pokemon Yellow and didn't worry about it after that. Because I never did catch that Pikachu in my blue version. That was back when my friend was letting me borrow his red and blue versions, though. Hey, A+ sword. Cool. So, they weren't my copy. But then I finally had the ability to get a Game Boy and get Pokemon. And my dad was like, okay, we can buy you, we can buy you and your brother one Game Boy and one game. What do you want? I'm like, Pokemon Yellow. Because Pikachu. But then I think just about any 90s kid knows that feeling of Pikachu's the best Pokemon because Ash has Pikachu and Ash is the greatest trainer in the world. I think we all understand how that felt back then.
At least nowadays, he's actually a trainer the younger generations can really look up to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He has gotten better.
He's actually winning important battles.
Right, yeah. And people will say, well, he always won all the gym battles. Yeah, he won the gym battles. But how many times did they do he lost to a Raichu. Is Pikachu going to evolve because he lost to Raichu? Storyline. It's no, Pikachu's not going to evolve because he lost to a Raichu, because you're not going to evolve, Pikachu. Don't bother with this storyline. You're not surprising anybody when it turns out that Pikachu is OP as crap. And then you just had to come up with some convoluted reason why he wasn't for 2 minutes. So they could lose to Raichu.
As expected, there are quite a few Imperial soldiers stationed there.
He doesn't even get anything new. He's just like, oh, you know what? Maybe if I just go a little bit faster.
I see. So the enemy has prepared for our arrival.
It was fine when that was the original, Lieutenant Surge battle, episode, 15 or whatever. That was fine. But when
It's the first time something like that had happened, after all.
But when they've repeated that storyline like 3 times since then, and the answer has always been, no, Pikachu doesn't need to evolve. He just has to move a little bit faster. It's like that was the same reason why he won last time, was because he moved faster.
Hey, at least we haven't repeated the, charge Pikachu up in the middle of a thunderstorm via a water wheel.
Yeah, so that he can unleash an electric attack on a Geodude, who, by the way, is immune to electric types, and yet fries the Geodude. Yeah, I know, that was so
At least
ridiculous.
that hasn't been repeated.
Yeah, well, I'll admit back then they were still trying to figure it out, so...
Did you not deem the woman who killed Carol to be unforgivable? I am most certain that you did. You couldn't let her get away with her crime, so you took up your sword.
Yeah.
You're wrong.
I think not. We're the same, you and
Oh, hey! My Japanese Gibble is evolving.
You're wasting your time. There's nothing to be gained from exchanging words with a boar that is not its mind.
Felix.
This is war. Every last one of us has lost.
I don't know why I'm training up this
But we all
Gibble.
choose to suppress our
I
anger
already
and
have a
rely on
Garchomp in my decks.
Do you know why?
Because fitness.
That's right. All the
I love
boars
Garchomp.
are picking up more curses.
Tell me, Felix. If the dead
Garchomp is just a really neat Pokemon.
to mourn or even bury those who are lost.
That mind of yours. I'm done here. Remember, Professor, it's not compassion for this fool that has brought our armies so far. There are those of us who despise the Empire and those who side with the Church. If we keep running down this path, it's only a matter of time before the ground beneath us collapses.
That's enough, Felix.
You're a damned fool, old man.
The soldiers are ready to march on your command.
Then let's move out at once. Every moment counts.
Understood. Let's show those Empire dastards the power of the Knights of Forest.
Oh boy. And here we go. On to the mission. Which, of course, as I said earlier, we will handle in the next episode. Because I'm sure there aren't too many supports. I hope not. It looks like there's a lot. But I don't... It's probably like one for each character, like one Ash and Leonie, and that's probably all that they have. So like, I'll do Felix, and they'll clear out like 2 people and stuff like that. It's not like every character has 5, like, the episode I uploaded just yesterday, as of the time of recording this. The episode that was literally labeled, "There's just too many supports!" Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed our little talk about whatever randomness ended up being talked about while we were doing those 3 battles, because it really was just kind of random whatever.
At least it was something to listen to.
At least it was something to listen to, if, the battles themselves weren't entertaining, so. But, yeah, I do hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. Check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. There's also a link to Discord, to my Discord server down there as well. You can come chat talk about the Let's Play, even interact with Mist and myself, and Card, and several other people, of course. So,
have a wonderful day, everyone.
See you later.
Oh shit! That girder knocked out my Lucario.
Whoops.